I think initially we saw Grammarly within specific teams. We saw folks downloading Grammarly probably through word of mouth and marketing departments or sales teams. And we realized quickly that we could provide value across the business. For us, it's all about experimentation. And I think so often we talk about product qualified leads as this science. But as you go further and further up market, it really is the art and the science paired together, because product qualified leads are fantastic. You can identify your ICP, the product usage, you can queue them up like an MQL even to your team. But if there's no buyer intent there, there's going to be no enterprise deal.
Riley, it is so good to have you here. I'm excited to have a community member now on the podcast to tell us everything about PLG and Grammarly and kind of this interesting transition you've been on at Grammarly. But before we dive in, I would love to have a quick intro. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Alexa, thank you so much. And congrats on all the success at Pocus. It's great to see the community grow and folks really embrace product-led sales. So a little bit about me. I lead our business development team here at Grammarly Business, located in San Diego, California. Been with the company for about 2 years. So we've seen incredible growth in the enterprise segment, from the traditional direct-to-consumer model that most people know about Grammarly, all the way to commercial and enterprise deals and really breaking into the Fortune 500. So it's been great to see the growth. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, that's a really awesome place that I would love to start, is this playbook that you all have seen at Grammarly, where you've started as a D2C product or PLG product selling to individuals, and now going more and more up market and working with enterprises. And I know over the last year and a half, you've been leading some of the initiatives to launch Grammarly Business, which targets enterprises, which is really different from where you started. So I'd love to hear about this transition and kind of what changed along the journey.
Yeah, it's a great question. And the ICP has really changed over time. And so a lot of the success we've seen has been taking feedback from the market. How are folks using Grammarly in the workplace today? So what originally started 14 years ago as a one user, one license Grammarly single player model has really exploded into what we have today, Grammarly Business, a multiplayer model for teams, organizations, where Grammarly works across the business. And so what started as maybe an educator or a student using Grammarly, now we see heads of sales, individual contributors, and really folks across the business using our communication tool to make sure their communication's on brand, on style, and really reflect their personality.
So it sounds like the ICP has kind of evolved from, individuals that might be in school or kind of an IC at an organization to now working with heads of sales or maybe heads of other departments. I'm curious, have you also seen more of the deal logistics change, like deal size, sales cycle, all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, it's a really great question. Deals have grown, which has been fantastic. I think initially we saw Grammarly within specific teams. We saw folks downloading Grammarly probably through word of mouth and marketing departments or sales teams. And we realized quickly that we could provide value across the business. So what started as a team of 10 became an organization of 100. And so the deal size grew with that as we provided incremental value. In addition, we were able to launch some team-related features that really help specific departments. So what's the feature set that helps a sales team, but also can benefit a marketing team? Or what's a feature set that helps the customer support department, but also is relevant to the HR department? So we started to see these little groundswells of Grammarly users across organizations. And that was really the moment where deal sizes took off, conversations were happening throughout the business, and ultimately why we're chatting today.
What have you learned from this experience? Because I know when I talk to other companies that go from being PLG to moving on market, it takes years to figure this out. There's a lot of learnings from understanding what's happening to your prospects or users and understanding, which different orgs should we interact with when and which teams should we be talking to and how do we roll this up to an enterprise deal and how do we decrease the sales cycle and increase the sales deal size. So I feel like when I hear from organizations, it's just like constant iteration, constant learning. So I'd be curious what you've learned on this adventure of going further and further up market.
Yeah, constant iteration, constant learning, both of those are top of mind. Really, for us, it's all about experimentation. And I think so often we talk about product qualified leads as this science, but as you go further and further up market, it really is the art and the science paired together, because product qualified leads are fantastic. You can identify your ICP, the product usage, you can queue them up like an MQL even to your team. But if there's no buyer intent there, there's going to be no enterprise deal. And so what we found is actually surfacing this data to the sales team, letting them pick and choose who those power users are that also match our ICP. That was really the best of both worlds. So we kind of married the science of PQLs and PQAs with choice for our sales team so that they could craft a personalized message, a relevant message to someone who was in our ICP and can ultimately get that enterprise deal done.
It is something that we also chat about a lot with the focus community and our customers of experimentation, as well as PQLs, PQAs being an art and science. I think historically, the kind of thesis around lead scoring was like, there's going to be one PQL that solves all your problems. And like, just reach out to that PQL and everything's fine. But what you just articulated, there's way more to that and more context and more insights to take action. So it's cool to hear how you've expanded on those learnings. I'd be curious, a lot of other PLG companies are always saying, you know, how do we go more up market? How do we go enterprise? Like, we've crushed it. We have all these users. Maybe we even have millions of users on the product. Now we want to go make a lot more money by selling to bigger companies, or maybe even make the transition from PLG to up market. What are the do's and don'ts for others that are going on this journey?
Yeah, there's so many do's and also a couple don'ts that we've had. I think the do's far outweigh the don'ts, but really take feedback from the customers, really understand the value that you're driving as you go further up market. Is it a matter of more licenses or additional value? And if that team deal or that enterprise deal is driving incremental value to that single user and across the business, or if it's actually more of just an enterprise SKU and an extra package. So take feedback, and that'll help you iterate as you go further and further up market. I think don't go up market too fast. Don't outgrow the product itself. And so if you have great product market fit within small teams or smaller organizations, going up market too fast, you know, you often do that for learnings and feedback from the market, but don't forget about the core business and what's ultimately driving revenue. Another do that we found is just enable your sales team. Unlock the power of your first party data, give them access to the data, help them understand the analytics and the data science that you're putting behind what a power user is or what a product qualified lead is. You'll gain their trust and they'll have better conversations in the market.
Love that. Sales enablement is so important. I also think knowing when to go up market is extremely good point. I think a lot of people are like, all right, now we're just going to fix our go-to-market and we'll be able to, land these huge deals. But first, you need to figure out, what is your enterprise product? What does pricing and packaging look like? How are you going to differentiate the enterprise product from the lower tier product? And what does the price look like? So I think those are both really, really good points. And sometimes, the sales team, like maybe it's training, but maybe it's different types of sellers that you need. So I think that's really, really, really good advice. Any final thoughts that we should have chatted about, Riley, that you've learned from this journey, or anything about product-led sales?
Yeah, Alexa, thank you. I would say, the alignment between go-to-market, marketing, and product is critical as you go up market. As you close larger and larger deals, that go-to-market message is critical to landing larger deals. And so having true alignment between go-to-market teams, marketing, and product, it leads to better events, better campaigns, more opportunities, larger deals, feedback from the market, which then informs the product strategy and the value that you're driving. So I would say that's really one of the biggest learnings we've had, is as we get bigger, as we scale, as the deal size grow, and as we provide more value, just taking the feedback from the market, really understanding the value that Grammarly drives for teams, and then feeding that back through the organization to marketing, to product, to sales, and the rest kind of figures itself out.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Riley. I really enjoyed chatting about this with you, and I'm excited to chat again soon.
Yeah, Alexa, thank you so much, and talk soon.